Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am sharing the best things with you. So have you always wanted to start reading but you don't know where to start? Reading for pleasure. I'm not talking of self-help books, reading novels, fiction. I have the best place for you to start. I'm putting you on to my favorite author today. Stick with me. So as someone who reads novels a lot, both contemporary style novels of African literature and romance, I have a favorite romance author. And I love her books because it's not just fickle romance, you get me? She writes slow burn. And while this fire is burning slowly, she addresses really topical issues that I feel are worthy of note. They are not just fickle or erotica or just writing for the sake of writing. These are books that are deep, they have depth, they have content to them. So the name of this author is Mariana Zapata. I am putting you on to Mariana Zapata, my favorite contemporary romance author. We're going to start with 7 of her books, and then I'm going to just mention a few others, but I'm starting with my favorite 7 in no order of preference. I'm just going to start. The first book would be Culty. This is a book about a footballer, a female footballer, soccer player, who gets to work with her idol. This is somebody, a footballer male, who she has idolized from the time when she was a child, and she gets to work with him as her coach. But when she gets close, she sees that this guy is not all she thought he was. So she's immediately put off, and then it becomes kind of enemies to friends to lovers. That's one thing I like about her. She doesn't jump enemies to lovers, enemies to friends to lovers. So she's immediately put off by his bad character, right? And then gradually they become friends. They start having one-on-one training sessions. They play on a softball team together. They just make a connection, right? And while this connection is building, some of the important topics that she touches on are, the beauty of a father-daughter relationship. I feel like many fathers are absent from their children's lives, and she really portrays how important and beneficial that kind of relationship is using this book. To be honest, this is one of my favorite books by her. I've read this book possibly over 20 times. I don't want to divulge too much information. I would want you to read and discover for yourself. Just take my word for it. This book is beautiful. Book number 2 would be Wait for It. It's about a lady who is raising her brother's children as a single mother, right? So she's raising these 2 boys on her own. There's a lot of clashes with her mother, who doesn't feel like she's doing enough for the children. But then her brother, who died with his wife, has left these children to her. And she's just 29, I think. So she's doing the best that she can, right? And in the midst of this is a lot of things happening. She touches on mother-daughter relationships. I feel like many mothers have this tough love kind of relationship with their daughters. They're really soft on their sons but hard on their daughters, and it really affects them at the end of the day, which is what she portrays in this book. She also talks about profiling people. She talks about being stereotypical without really knowing a person's situation. So this book is real slow burn, honestly, and I love it. One thing that this book and Culty have in common is that the main characters, the ladies, they are cousins, and both of them are in the people that they end up dating. There's an age gap between them. So I feel like she really uses these relationships to show that age is just a number, because these people have tried relationships with younger people their age, to no avail. But these other people that are older than them, it just hits like magic. Book number 3 would be The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. I also love this one so very much. The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. The Wall of Winnipeg is a person. He is a football player. Football. Hi. That kind of football, not soccer. The other kind of football where they wear like buff things and the helmet. Yeah, so he is a Canadian, I think. Yeah, if I remember correctly, he's Canadian, and he has this lady who has been working for him, Vanessa. Vanessa is best friends with Diana from Wait for It. So he has this lady who has been working for him for years, but he ignores her for the most part. And she has been saving money because she has her own goals. She doesn't want to be his assistant slash housekeeper slash everything forever. So she quits. When she tells him that she's quitting, after working for a very good number of years, she tells him that she's quitting, and he hardly has any reaction until he shows up at her doorstep and he's like, oh, I need you to marry me. As how? From where? How? Make it make sense. Anyway, it turns out that he's getting his green card or something. He needs to get his green card to stay in America. So he wants to do that by getting married. And all of a sudden, for some reasons, she decides to agree and they get married. So these are people who have known each other for years without really knowing each other. And they start a slow friendship, and out of that, they build the strongest relationship. So I love this one because of the slow burn, of course. And I also love it because she really explores the depth, the heights that people go to retain citizenship, to remain in a country where they have built their life. This is where this man is established. He's one of the literal best players in the country, but he's about to get deported. So she really explores that. Book number 4 would be When Gracie Met the Grump. This one, the Grump is the guy. He is a superhero. And I like this one because of the paranormal twist that he has. So he's a superhero, and Gracie is someone that he ends up meeting. He lands at her doorstep very injured, and she nurses him back to health. Even though she's supposed to be on the run, she stays back and nurses him back to health. And then they find them, and they're in captivity for some time, and it's just nice. I don't know how to put it. This book is a nice book. It's beautiful. It's slow burn at its best, and I love it. So I think you should read it. Book number 5 would be Dear Erin. And I think this was the first one that I read. It starts with a correspondence between a soldier and his pen pal. And I almost stopped reading it. Imagine if I had stopped reading it, I wouldn't have been exposed to the wonder that is Mariana Zapata. Anyway, it's a correspondence. So at the beginning, it's just letters that they're exchanging back and forth, right? And when I started, I'm like, okay, what's going on? But I decided to stick with it for a while. And that's the best choice that I could have made, because at the end of the day, the soldier comes back home and he meets the baby girl that he has been chatting with, and he really helps her with her self-esteem and a lot of things, which I think is really nice. So this book is lovely and you should read it. Book number 6 is From Lukov with Love. This is about Ivan Lukov and a baby girl. I can't remember her name, I'm sorry. Shit. Jasmine, yeah. So Ivan and Jasmine are figure skaters, right? And they have known each other from afar. His younger sister is Jasmine's best friend. You get it? So they've known each other from afar, but they're kind of like enemies. They really hate each other. They're forced to work together to have a shot at, some figure skating competition. And from there, through so many times falling on the ice, watching each other get sick, watching each other get hated upon by other people, there's just this sort of protectiveness that is built. Protectiveness and friendship, which in the end just results into love. So yeah, this is another great book that I like. Another book is All Roads Lead Here. This is about Mr. Rhodes. I like this one because it's about a single father who falls in love with someone that he doesn't really know. Do you get me? She's renting a little space in his house, and slowly they fall in love. But this book is beautiful. It's nice. I love it. 7 books are my favorites by her. Not to say I don't like the others. I just find myself going back to these ones more often than not. And I'm not going to lie to you, these books are good. These stories are beautiful. I love her work because she explores a lot. From the kind of characters that she builds, like I've told you now, there's single mother, single father, figure skaters, superheroes, professional athletes. She just goes around and she explores a lot of different characters, and she fully develops these characters while they are on their journey to finding love. This is what I love about her books. And I also love her titles. She has this beautiful play on words that she has going for herself, like all roads lead here. Genius. Other books that are worthy of mention are Under Lock, Luna and the Lie, The Best Thing, Rhythm, Chord and Malakin, and Hands Down. Hands Down is kind of related to The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, but to be very honest, this is the only book by Mariana Zapata that I haven't read, but I'm sure it's great and I'm going to read it very, very soon. I just don't want to read it because if I read it, I won't have anything new left of her to read, but I'm going to read it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. So let me know in the comment section if you know who Mariana Zapata is and what your favorite book by her is and why it is your favorite. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Bye guys.